Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to your weekly general tarot scope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for everybody. They are the general energies, trends and themes that we're likely to experience over the course of this coming week. With that said, you're going to get a destiny card. You're going to get direction cards to show you how to use that destiny energy. And you're also going to get insight cards to help you see around corners to get a heads up. With that said, this is all informed or infused with my intuitive message, which is kind of like a thread that runs throughout this. All right. With that said, sometimes world events are going to show up here. Sometimes it's just going to be a personal message. Now, with that, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So with that, excuse me, I'm sorry. All right, so for our intuitive message this week, so basically what I saw this week was a window that was like really high up, and effectively the message or the words that came from that were climb a window or open a door. Basically, this is like a cryptic way of saying find a way to do this, all right? Whatever it is that you're trying to achieve or to succeed, it basically says you can either open the window, or you can either climb through a window or you can open a door. So there's two ways that you could see this. One, is there something that you're making a lot harder than it needs to be? And two, is there somewhere that you need to find a little bit more courage or a little bit more grit to approach? And what I mean by this, it's not to say like, oh, you're not being, you're not brave enough. It's not that. It's more a case of, is there some area in your life or something that you are working towards where maybe, just maybe, you could show up in a different way, or maybe you do need to gather your wings to you in order to go after something, just about finding that added layer of courage in some regard. Okay, so from the Human Design Oracle deck, we get our Destiny card energy. Let's see what comes up for us. And for this week, we have the Gate 48 and Depth. I mean, like, if there were ever a perfect card that totally tunes into or goes in sync with the intuitive message, this would absolutely be it. Because the Depth card basically says you have hidden power, you've got hidden depths, and this is really about delving deep into the heart of who you are in order to create change. Now, as you can see there, she's got like a rune or a symbol that sits over the heart space. Now, there's a few ways that you could look at this. One, that could be the Manaz rune, but two, it could also be a bind rune that's made up of Manaz but also Dagaz. So one of those runes actually represents the dawning of a new day, and it's about really finding your inner power. It's about allowing transformation to take place, after like a challenging time when the sun dawns. This really is that, and the energy of depth, what this speaks to is really delving deep into the hidden resources that you have on the inside to make something happen. So this is really about gathering your personal power, about finding your personal power. But in order to do that, excuse me, in order to do that, you have to go deep. You have to really delve into the heart of who you are and find your courage to go after this. And like I said, because this suggests that you have hidden resources or energies or abilities that can come forward in some way, you're being encouraged to find those within yourself now. I absolutely love this because it really, really works in harmony with that intuitive message that we had. All right. So I'm going to give these a good shuffle. And let's see, what is the direction energy? How do we best tap into this depth? How do we best find that internal courage to go after something? And this week we have the King of Pentacles. Well, first of all, by trusting that the knowledge, the skills and the wisdom that we've gained over a lifetime is enough, right? The one thing that I can tell you about the King of Pentacles, aside from all of his other wonderful meanings and attributes, the King of Pentacles, and probably, I mean, none of the kings do, to be fair, but the King of Pentacles is absolutely sure in all of his skills, right? Because they have come over time. He understands what it is to utilize a skill, an ability, a power, an idea or whatever, because it's something that he's done time and time again. This guy is completely aware, like, to the point where sometimes it's rigid, right? To the point where sometimes the King of Pentacles can be even boring because it goes around on those same patterns. But this week, that sense of familiarity with what you know absolutely in the heart of who you are is what's going to carry you forward. It also suggests that okay, so look, then we've got the Seven of Swords. So how do we use the Seven of Swords? Well, with the King of Pentacles, this is really about releasing or letting, it's about releasing or letting go of the lies that we have told ourselves, or rather the lies that have been woven into our traditions from our heritage. So in some way, shape or form, what lies or ideas or ideologies have been passed on to you that you know now, like now, no longer, that you no longer believe, right? So, you know, this whole thing when you're growing up and they say money doesn't grow on trees, or money is hard to come by, or, you know, all of those things. This is a chance for you to rid yourself of them and therefore harness that power and turn it into something that is a lot easier. Then we've got the Nine of Pentacles. So one of the ways that we use the Nine of Pentacles, especially in conjunction with the Seven of Swords, what this means is, because the Seven of Swords is the lie, right? This is the lie that it can't be easy. The lie that we can't stop to smell the roses just yet. This is something that the King of Pentacles does very, very well. When he's working, he works. When he's resting, he rests. When he works, he, you know, work hard, play hard kind of energy. It's very, very much that. And in terms of the energies of the week ahead, this really does suggest that one of the ways that we tap into our hidden depth, our personal power, our new gifts and abilities, or even just our courage to see something through, it really does suggest that we need to take a moment. This is about taking a moment to really take stock of where you are, what you're experiencing right now, and really understanding where it is that you've bought into an idea or a narrative that no longer serves you. In terms of our insight cards, what's to come? You've got the Three of Pentacles, you've got the Chariot card, and you've got the Six of Swords. Okay, so one of the things that I will say to you is this week would be a really good week to do some kind of travel, specifically some kind of travel that takes you out of your comfort zone or away from what you know, especially if there's an element of learning, study, gathering new information. This is potentially as well for some of you, you're going on an exploratory trip where you're going somewhere. It's like, you know, let's say you want to buy a home abroad. Maybe you go away for the weekend to that place, right? You're going to check it out. You're going to go and see it. Does this really feel like it's a little bit of me? Now, in terms of the heads up, on the wider world stage, we are going to see some developments with travel. There are likely to be, it's not new legislations, but it looks like new measures potentially are put in place around travel at this time. And I wonder if this is because of information that we're getting. Now, what I find interesting about this is, I don't think it will be as strong as the stuff that we saw in COVID. The truth of the matter is, none of us even, yeah, anyway, nobody will, the majority of the people will not allow themselves to be locked down again. However, it's likely that this week there's probably going to be some very strong advice around travel, travel plans, the way that you travel, where you go, how you get there, all the rest of it. So it will be interesting to see how this plays out. Now, that's the wider world stage. On a more personal level, like I said, this is some kind of exploratory trip that needs to be taken. And I really feel that even though there's no Hermit card here, I do feel that this trip is going to provide us all with the balance, or the at least the the insight that we require by truly taking a moment to take a breather, to take a moment out. All in all, excuse me. Ooh. All in all, I actually really love this reading because it's a lot more seamless than a lot of the weeklies are. It kind of feels like one very cohesive message. So I'm totally here for this. With that said, let me know in the comments how this shows up for you. I love it when you guys post me links to articles that speak to what's happening on the wider world stage. I will say as well, there's potentially, because the King of Pentacles is usually an earth sign male, so this could be somebody who comes in and potentially completely shakes up your idea of the way that your life is going or the way that your life should be. On the world stage, this is probably going to be somebody to do with the finances, with the finance sector or the business sector that will kind of... I mean, they're all, a lot of them, to be fair, are out of touch with the people, all right? But this, I think, will be some kind of grand revelation that shows the detachment or the gap between, you know, the haves and the haves not, as the case might be. Anyway, with that said, I've rambled long enough. Have a wonderful week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.